Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Siti Amisha Balqis Binti Zahari, one of Human Resource student at UiTM Puncak Alam. Today, my presentation is related to the current issue that occurred in the training and development course, which I choose the issue of higher cost of training. Most of organizations conduct a training in order to train necessary skills needed to the employees so that they can apply it into their day-to-day activities and work tasks depending on their occupations and job positions. But they have to face several issues that occurred during training, including higher training costs. To help me in discussing this issue into more detail, I have chosen one of the research articles that analyzed the cost of higher training costs, written by Judge Query, Manuel Appli, and Andres Kuhn. In the article entitled The Cost of Standardized Apprenticeship Curricula for Training Firms, the main issue that had been aroused in the training and development between training firms and apprentices is involved the misfit between curriculum content and firm skills need for the consideration to the training decision, which lead to the rising of the training costs. According to the article, there are standardization of training contents that must be followed by Swiss firms to conduct the training, which stated in the National Curricula of Training Skills requirement. The training contents are indicated to be updated from time to time, that constantly change the firm's training needed depending on its skills requirement. Regarding to the first issue, which deal with the skills that need to be trained but the firms do not require, the researchers clarify that this issue can increase the cost of training because the firm will have to invest more resources in training the necessary skills. According to the statistics from questionnaire observation made by researchers in the article, they conclude the proportion of 70% from the skills in the training contents are not relevant to the firm's production processes. Unfortunately, the company still must make extra funds or money for the additional training content since it has been defined in the curriculum, and the firms must obey the training contents that standardized to the national curricula imposed on training firms. Apart from that, based on the second issue from the article, researchers focusing on the issue of skills that the firms need but the skills are not contained to the training contents. This issue occurred since the contents from the training are not included and educated in the universities or industry course, which considered the firms to make additional training sessions to give them knowledge and practices of the necessary skills that the firms demanded. After the researchers made a survey and collecting the data from private training firms regarding this issue, about 11% from the firms had revealed their training in additional training sessions that are not issued in the training plan had been trained to the apprentice in order to fulfill the firm's need. It caused the firms to use extra money to create additional training sessions for training. According to both considerations of training decisions, both issues are determined for the firms to make additional training sessions, which cause to the higher spending on the training expenses needed to train apprentices. Next, in order to overcome this issue, the way to reduce training costs, which by using digital learning as a virtual training. Nowadays, virtual training is recommended with the use of web-based video chatting software or program to create webinars meeting that can decrease the training expenses. By utilizing webinar in the virtual training, trainers can reduce the cost for paying the venue, travel, and catering expenses. In other words, webinar can replace the meat of discussions from face-to-face interaction into online webinar meeting, where the firms can practice to conduct training through short videos, PowerPoint presentation, web conference, and others. It can enhance trainers' productivity in their hours of work because the webinars only take shorter time rather than taking 4 to 5 hours of training. Training often filled with certain training contents that are not necessary to be trained to the trainees depending on their job occupations. In order to decrease the training costs, trainers should reduce the amount of training materials to allow trainees in assessing the training contents needed, which will stop the case of overproducing learning resources in training. Delivering training that trainees needed can ensuring that the training contributes to the business goals because trainers can focus on delivering specific approach to the trainees which suit with their skills and requirements that will increase the effectiveness of trainees to handling their work tasks. In conclusion, to conduct a training, organizations need to design in the training program which suits with firms' need that can actually help to analyze the training costs with preparing early learning objective, meaningful materials, and feedback from training design. It should be important for every organization to acknowledge what skills requirements in the training contents that the trainees need, depending on their job position and work tasks, to ensure that they are managed to increase their efficiency and productivity at work. So that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.